Good morning. Here we are. Hope if I look in the right direction. Slightly changed my surroundings because in our household it is half term. It may be half term with you. You may not be, I say, affected by half term. But when we work from home, we have to move around the house sometimes. Where I operate is in it's my son's bedroom. Okay, my kind of office space. I've got a backdrop in there, but he's snoring away at the moment. So I don't think he'd appreciate me doing a live whilst he's in the room. Anyway, here we are. And how Robin mugs. Remember, robins are not just for Christmas. Thank you for coming along. Who knows how many people I'm speaking to? I may just be speaking with myself, to myself, or maybe some people, if you catch up on replay, really appreciate it. Obviously, put some comments. Let us know that kind of interaction is there. And these whole lives are an idea of me regularly sharing insights into conscious development, the conscious development map, my finding your formula process to create prosperity. You know, a phrase that I use, which is manifest aligned prosperity across all areas of our world. And today I really wanted to dig into identity. And I suppose it's, it's my core principle. And let me just put this up if we bring the map up so you can actually see. It's right here at the heart of the model is self. Okay. And all the things that work out towards there, our well-being, our relationships, our personal economy, our career, our business, even community interests, you could say that's included in there until fulfillment comes down to how we show up as individuals and ourself and wrapped up with our identity within that space. So I'll reference this map every so often. And if you do, I've actually got them, they're brilliant. I've got one here actually. They make great coasters. And I realized that actually the mug fits perfectly on the circle. I think that's more by chance than intention. I was making some up and I've sent some out to people because I can give you the hard copy of it. I can give you obviously the PDF of it. So you've got it for reference. You can have it on your phone. It's a really good measure and check process. But if you want, I just print some off. I put them through the laminator. We haven't gone to the printers yet because I've got to get some instructions put on the back. So we want to have some print ready ones. But at the moment I think it's a bit like Gymshark started off, they started making their own clothes in their home and that's how things go. So who knows where this is going to go. But if you'd like a copy, by all means message me. And equally as well, you see there's a barcode on the screen. Have a look on there. My latest offers are on my website. If you want to connect, please do. Now, these whole lives, it's not about pitching and getting cheesy or sleazy or pushing agendas onto you. It's hopefully opening up your thinking to a way of how you move through your world, through your life, with your business, with your career, whether you're a leader in a certain industry, and how that industry is affecting you at the heart of your world. So when we talk about identity, we talk about the labels that we give ourselves, the positions that we have to show up and defend those labels. For instance, I mentioned it first off, we're here half term, so I'm in parent mode, but fundamentally, how is the identity of Martin whilst I'm in that parent mode? I'm also running a business, offering a service. I'm also a partner. I'm a son. I'm a neighbor. All these labels and identities that we kind of give ourselves, or when someone meets you, what do they say? Oh, I do this. Bang, they just put you into a box. Oh, you must be like that. Because that's how it used to be. It's that conditioned thought of, one of my first careers was, ironically, I was a hairdresser. Okay. And yeah, clearly didn't help me. So especially a male hairdresser in that time in the 80s and early through 90s, people go, what are you? And I say, well, they're, oh, okay. And you can almost see those cogs go, okay, well, I'll put you into that box. What a lot of them failed to realize that was virtually every planet, as long as they've got every person on the planet, as long as they've got hair, will require the services of a hairdresser or a barber or whatever, or a butcher, depends on what styles you prefer, at some point through their worlds. So that human connection is consistent, it's constant, they're in a relaxed state. So the golden nuggets that I've deemed, been gifted from interacting with people, I didn't realize at the time was the foundations of most of my work. Is how are people when they're being themselves, and actually are they being themselves? So stepping into that, because it's a psychology space, hairdressing. Okay, sure, you're getting a makeover in whatever context, but understanding people, and that's where my first curiosity stepped in. But people used to go, oh, you're that, so therefore it must be this. Yeah, if you want to think that, fine, fair enough. But rather than fighting those opinions or those views, and this is relevant to you and your situation, it's like, okay, so how am I showing up in that space? Through my career, I've had various experiences, various things that I've done in business. Some have been great and some have been absolutely crap. Okay, because the identity of who I was in that equation wasn't right. It wasn't aligned with me. And this is what I would like you to reflect on. I would encourage you to reflect on is how are you in every element of your world? So if I bring the map back, okay, so how is your identity being affected in relationships? Let's go right to the heart of the crux for a lot of people. Are you being respected in that personal relationship? Are you being respected in that professional relationship? Societally, how does society view you from the way you show up? And are you showing up in an aligned way? Because if alignment isn't there, your nervous system will know. Your cortisol levels will not be manageable. Serotonin will kick off here and everywhere. You're getting dopamine hits. Things will go up, things will go down. And what we want is a consistent, relaxed, aligned approach to you showing up as yourself through all these elements of your world. So if you're in a relationship and it's weighted too much one way, things are going to break or pop at some point. And what tends to happen, and this isn't relationship advice, this is using relationships as an example about self. People numb themselves. Oh, it's not too bad. Yeah, but equally, it's not that great. But until it gets so bad that something needs to get done about it, then changes happen. And normally it's pretty cataclysmic, or it's pretty harsh, or someone does something to you, or you may be the perpetrator where you do something to somebody else. I've been in situations where I've had to figure out myself through relationships, personally, professionally, societally. And every time, and I'm really good at reflecting on my timeline, and I put my timeline like this. There's my past, there's my future. Although equally, when I'm doing directed actions, I'll take my timeline forward that way. So it comes through me. But each time I've gone, how have I been in that situation? Did I, and also meaning you, take full responsibility for how we showed up? And what version of us was actually showing up? So if we bring it back to the points that have really made me think about some conversations I had, some messaging on some posts, some private messages about forgetting ourself in the equation of our world. It's like, when are you taking time, and when is your situation and your circumstances allowing you to have time for yourself? And if we think about the model that's here, and let me take that off because I know we're coming up to the last couple of minutes. How are you being with your mindset? Okay, your energy levels, your values and your beliefs, and how are they being respected from the people around you? Because between relationships with the conscious development match and self is well-being, that health and happiness. What boundaries have you got in place to protect you? And are other people respecting those? Because if they're not, what's their agenda, to use a word? Our identity, our self, is key to living an aligned and a balanced and a calm and a directed and a beautiful life. And the more we pile in on top, and the less we take note of other people pulling on our energy, the more unsettled we're going to be. And we won't be able to sit in those moments with ourselves because we wouldn't have figured out ourselves. So the sooner we start to look in and we start to realize, okay, so what is it about me that makes me me? How am I showing up differently in the world, irrespective of career or community expectations? And as we're about to wrap up and have an alarm that goes off at 8:10, if you would like me to get the map to you as a PDF, whatever, a JPEG, I don't know, whatever format you want it in, let me know. Message me. This isn't a pitch fest. This is me getting the information to you, a measure and check. If you want a hard copy, let me know. I put them in the post. I put some in the post yesterday for somebody. Because the more we think about this alignment of ourselves through our worlds, the more balanced and the more happy our heart is. And equally, how much we bring and we manifest in our worlds our true path of prosperity, which I believe is our natural birthright. Okay? I'll have a little sip of coffee. Maybe you brought a coffee along with you this morning. And there's the alarm going off. I'll be back live on Tuesday of next week and Thursday. And by all means, contact me in any way you want. Scan the QR code. I'll stop the alarm.